Leah is a photographer from Sweetser, Indiana, a wife and a mother of 3. She's created a way for photographers to give back to their communities by donating photo sessions to families who have a loved one dealing with a terminal illness. This idea stemmed from Leah's experiences as a young mother and as a cancer survivor.
I've had a lot of struggles in life. It wasn't easy for me to go from being a young teen mom to a professional and kind of overcome the stereotypes. I had the cards stacked against me. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer in December 2009, actually the day after Christmas. And I remember when my doctor called me, I didn't have to go through chemo, just a few surgeries to remove it. Thank God my cancer wasn't very serious, but cancer is cancer, and it's still scary.
Leah had an old friend from high school named Adam who was diagnosed with cancer. It was his death that inspired her to serve individuals dealing with a terminally ill family member.
He was 27 years old. Nobody expected him to pass. He was diagnosed in June. By Thanksgiving, he was gone. And, as a photographer, there was many times that I thought about offering them a family session, but I was sick going through cancer myself, so I wasn't able to provide that to them. They didn't have one professional picture taken in years, and it broke my heart because they didn't think to have that done. I created a slideshow for them for the funeral, and then I took a couple of their pictures and I edited them as best as I could, and I gave them back to the family, and then the reaction that I received from that was incredible, and it was such a gift to them, and I honestly couldn't have imagined it being so meaningful, but when they expressed that emotion to me and what a gift those pictures were, that's when I decided that I was going to do this as a photographer.
And she sits down and looks at me one night and says, I've got an idea. And I say, what's the idea? And she says, I want to use my gifts to give back to other people.
That's when Leah started an organization called the Film Project.
FILM stands for Family Images for Lasting Memories. Our mission is to provide families facing cancer with free family portrait sessions through a network of photographers that we have nationwide. These families, they see us more than just photographers. We're there during some of the most difficult moments of their life, and we almost become family to them. They are just absolutely amazed and very grateful for the gift that we're giving them.
At one film session, the subject of the photo shoot was a 10-year-old cancer patient named Bree.
You cannot prepare yourself for a doctor sitting across a room from you telling you your child has cancer and has a 50% chance of survival. That's, I think, the hardest words you can be told. It's pretty devastating. Neuroblastoma follows your nervous system. Most kids are diagnosed 18 months to 3 years of age, so Bree is a rare case because she's so much older. It's been really difficult because it is hard to watch her go from being this strong little girl who did national competitions for cheerleading just in April to not being able to do anything. So these pictures, they mean the world to me.
By doing this session for her and, watching her family go through the struggles of, the treatments and being in the hospital, is very special to be able to provide this gift to them. And just watching Bree, actually she was the one that kind of put me at ease through that whole entire session because she was just so full of spunk, and I had known her personality type from talking to the family before and kind of getting to know them, so I knew she was just going to be full of it the whole time. I've been training our photographers for quite some time to do all the pictures in black and white because we want them to look cohesive, and we want them to all look the same, and you've got patients that are jaundiced, and we want them to just be all black and white. And then I did Bree's session, and she was so full of life and so just full of energy. I went to process her pictures, And I'm like, these cannot be in black and white. And we started locally. I thought, I'll just get a few volunteers locally, see if we can provide these sessions to families. And then all of a sudden, applications started coming in from places like Australia and Germany. It was really amazing to me to see this community of photographers come together. I couldn't understand how they were hearing about us even.
Through word of mouth, Facebook, and photography blogs, Film brought together struggling families with volunteer photographers.
The whole reason for me joining the film project was the passing of my best friend's father. I got them to meet me for a photo session and got all these beautiful fall pictures of this family, and then her father passed away. Every photograph to me is extremely valuable because that's a moment, that's a snapshot, that's something that you don't get back.
When I was 10 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia, and I was given 6 weeks to live. After 8 weeks, I went into remission, and there were several miracles to why I'm still here today. So far, I've done 3 photo shoots, and I feel a responsibility as a cancer survivor to give back to the cancer community. It turns out to be a memory that they have from that moment in their life. And even though it's the hardest moment in their life, that's when family grows closer together.
Film photographer Linda Tubbs captured images of Kinsey, a little girl with terminal cancer. Kinsey's grandfather, Steve Converse, remembers the family photo shoot.
We met Linda up at the Children's Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska. When we were finished, I walked back to the room because Kinsey was getting pretty tired. And I reached down to give her a hug, and she always reached up and grabbed me by the neck. And Linda was standing there, and she snapped a picture, and it's one that it's a picture that we keep close to us. 1 week after she'd been discharged from Children's Hospital, she really started to go downhill. She passed away, 6.5 years old. The photos are just priceless. It reminds us that one day we're going to see her again. It just means the world to our family. It really does.
As the film project continues to grow, Leah is busy recruiting photographers and connecting with families. However, running her nonprofit organization hasn't been without sacrifices at home.
I have amazing children. They understand. Brayden, who's going on 10 years old, will sit in my office with me, and my little one, she, sometimes she doesn't understand as much, and she'll, try to get a little more of mommy's attention, but she will understand one day. And Brayden, he embraces it. He tells me, Mom, I know you're busy, and I know you have to go here, and I know you've got meetings, and I know I need to be quiet, and it bothers him sometimes, but he says to me, and coming out of an almost 10-year-old's mouth, he's like, but you're helping people. You're helping people, and you're making a difference, and that's why it's okay.
My wife's a very emotional woman. She wears her heart on her sleeve. When film started, my wife was in a bad place, and film brought her out of that darkness, and it actually saved her life. She has this renewed spirit, and she has this energy that she's getting from working with these families and doing something special. And really, it's almost like a channeling, a very spiritual thing on not only to families, but photographers, and inspiring other young women, to do the same.
And when I had this idea, I call it, about the film project, it wasn't really an idea. It was my calling. And I've done other sessions where it's been hard to hold back my tears. When they start showing emotion and they start crying, thank goodness I've got my camera up to my face, because it's hard, but you got to keep on going, because again, these are the family's last moments, and it's my job as a photographer to capture them and to not fail them. And you think that those memories wouldn't fade and they would always be there, but the fact of the matter is they're not. You're going to remember bits and pieces, and yeah, things are going to come back to you, but pictures capture one split second in time, and freeze that moment forever. And that's something that can never be taken away.
Lift your